Boom. There we go. All right, so we touched on a different format. I got Instagram Live going. I got a few different streams going, but so I want to tell everyone thank you. I'm running a few minutes behind. I'm running behind. Now we're just getting back on track. We're talking about that winning attitude. We're talking about how we're going to create wins throughout this week. How we're going to make sure that this year just goes the way that you would like it to go better than what it has been going. And I wanted to talk kind of about this formula for winning. So you can go out there, reproduce it, recreate it, and do it over and over again, no matter what the goal is. I reached out to a couple of people. Well, a couple of people reached out to me, and I've reached out to a couple of people. And I wanted to hear what was their feedback, what were their thoughts about winning. And one of the things that I even kind of jumped ahead with this was people forget about the positivity when it comes to your attitude. Like when it comes to winning, when it comes to getting ahead, when it comes to accomplishing it, whatever it is that you are after, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, what I've found and what I constantly keep seeing is people have their equation flipped, right? When I'm talking about your attitude, I'm talking about how your disposition really plays a huge part about this. Specifically, what I'm talking about, what I'm going to start with is too many people are walking around with this attitude saying that they don't like people, that people get on their nerves. And I get it. In a heart of hearts, my heart of hearts, I understand that people will drive you flipping bonkers. It will drive you bonkers. But you cannot deny the fact that people matter. You cannot deny the fact that, we're all in this together. And if you are letting people stop you from going out there because of their disposition, or maybe you don't understand them, because that's largely what I have found that has gotten in the way, is you're going to limit what you can do. Because if you're expecting, okay, I can do this by myself, well, more than likely, that's kind of how you might have gotten there in some degree, because you wanted to take on the kind of cavalier attitude, or maybe you just thought that I'm better by myself. If there's anything that we've learned from those couple years ago and then kind of still leading up till now, is that we are in this together. And there's many ways to the top of the mountain. And I've done the whole do it by myself thing many times, many years. And I can tell you this, sure, you will get to the top. You'll get to some destination, but you're going to be worn out. Because it's better together. It's easier. It's simpler. It's smarter to do it in conjunction with others. I'm happy to talk more about people, but I really challenge people when they say they don't like people or people suck and things like that. I'm willing to push it and say, what do you know about people? How have you tried to, step out maybe in a different environment? I'm not saying people are not frustrating. I'm not saying that people sometimes are bizarre where you go, what kind of stupid are you? I mean, I can't say that I haven't had those moments, but I also know at the same time, though, with many people, and I just finished having this conversation, I would rather be frustrated with you than not have you, because I recognize the value of people. I recognize that relationships are everything. Nothing happens outside of a conversation, and you cannot have a conversation by yourself. You can talk with yourself. You can say some things to yourself, but in order to get some real good feedback, in order to get some real good boosting up, we need one another. But when I'm looking at attitudes, it's, this attitude to win. And this is really what I was talking about at the beginning, that people get this in reverse. People will say that I'll be happier once I get it. I'll smile more once I get it. I'll be a more pleasant person once I get it. That's a way. That is a way. But wouldn't it make more sense to practice some of these things now and act as if you have it, or maybe have a more positive disposition as you are achieving it? Versus going out there, having this attitude, and maybe you're not getting exactly what you wanted, and therefore you kind of negotiate, well, if I don't get what I wanted, I'm going to have this attitude. That ain't the way that life works. That's not. It can go in that direction, but to function in a way that just almost seems seamless, where you're on this yacht, is what I'm always using this metaphor. If you're building a yacht, you're going to this great place, and it's going to be able to empower, it's going to be able to help, it's going to change your life. And you build this giant yacht in life, so to speak. And let's just say you are building just this giant accumulation of wealth. What is the point of being on it by yourself? What's the point? You're not going to have the people that you trust there. You might not have the people that you care about there. You're not going to even know if any of these people that you might end up surrounding yourself with once you get there, because you'll get there. I'm not saying that you won't. But when you get there, and I've seen this with different clients, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who's really there for you or for your success. That's a miserable life. It's not fun. It's just not. I've done that. I've seen many people do that. And, I'm just telling you, save yourself a lot of stress, frustration. Get in a positive attitude, get in a spirit of saying, hey, look, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to make the best out of the day. If it was something that you wanted, if it was something that requires you to dig deep, most people aren't going to pursue it. People are built to go after the path of least resistance. So once most people hit that little roadblock, they're going to stop. So take like pride and take so much joy in the fact that you hit a roadblock and you're still going. That's encouraging. Most people stop when it gets difficult. They do. I'll ask somebody a question like, well, so what made you stop? Oh my gosh, I wanted to start this great business and da 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 da. And they hit one roadblock, maybe two roadblocks, maybe five, whatever it is. And then they give up. They don't want to do it anymore. And I'm not focused on that. But what I'm looking at is when you're out there pursuing something that takes a lot of, more of you than maybe you might not be available to you because maybe you need to learn more, study more, level up your skills. It's going to call on a different like person. It's going to call on like this thing in you. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. But once you get there, you're going to be like, boom, I did it. And you're going to be so excited about it. And it's like, wow, I accomplished this. And once you get that, I mean, life really changes and life is really good. But I'm telling you this, the problems in life don't stop once you get whatever you're after. The problems do not stop. They don't. If you start this new job, guess what? There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be just these things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn a whole new people. Problems do not stop. And I'm not saying that life is plagued with problems. No, but it's not going to get easier. In some cases, it's going to be different. In some cases, it might be easier, but there's still going to be some sort of problems. So if your goal is to say, I'll get that and then everything will be perfect, get comfortable with some of these things. And a lot of times the problems, it's just, I need to start thinking differently. Recognize your attitude is part of the equation. Recognize that it comes faster when you're approaching it with so much positivity. It just works. When you see someone who's having fun, they're playing a game and they're just like, oh my gosh. Like you see someone doing like a 500-piece puzzle. And some people are like, why would you do that? But it's a game to people. When you gamify anything in life, it becomes that much easier. It becomes that much more fun. And then you are going to get it. I am more than willing with the effort, with intensity, with focus, with persistence, but with that positivity, that type of attitude, you're going to get it. You have to. If you're doing all those things right there and with a positive attitude, it will come to you. Make success come to you faster. Demand that it comes to you by having a more positive attitude, by having a positive disposition about yourself. This stuff works. This is not hyperbole. I'm telling you. Go out there this week. I gave you one of the formulas for winning. Positive attitude. Start it. Start your day off saying, hey, I'm going to go out there and just crush it. It can be a rough day, but I am still in pursuit of it. Get what you want. Celebrate it all. Stay positive. I'll see you all tomorrow.